Good afternoon, everyone. Bill Renchler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone's having a nice Monday afternoon. Weather's nice out today, so again, a pretty nice Monday out there. I think, in fact, actually, maybe one of the last Mondays before, or the last Monday before the school year really starts. So again, have our regularly scheduled Monday streaming segment with the Better Business Bureau today. Again, had to push it back a little bit. I was out at a school visit earlier this afternoon, but our regularly scheduled Monday visit with Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau, again talking consumer safety spotlight, and again some timely tips from him. So we'll go ahead and again stop hearing from me. We'll go ahead and bring in Josh. Josh, how you doing? How was your weekend? How are things going here as we get ready to wrap up summer?
It was a good weekend, Bill. I feel like I'm kicking myself that we're at the end of summer and I didn't go on more trips. I'm sure a lot of families can, agree with that sentiment. But very happy to be here with you on Monday.
Yeah, we snapped our fingers, and summer's basically done and over with. I went school supply shopping with Liam and Jamie yesterday. We found out our, what class we're in, and went through all that stuff. So they start next Wednesday, I think. So you blink and it's done.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I hope they have a fantastic school year and that everybody's got all the supplies they need. So you don't need to do any last minute shopping.
Especially after our conversation we had last week, which again, if you missed it, again, went over school supply shopping, and again, making sure you're buying from reputable places and buying in bulk and things like that. Today, also another sort of timely school year tidbit, and one, again, that I think could be really important to people, and that's, again, finding tutors and finding the right tutor for your child. And there has been some tutor-related scams that you guys have seen at the Better Business Bureau, so kind of fill us in a little bit on kind of what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we've heard, unfortunately, of everything from phony tutoring services where someone was clearly not qualified to someone creating advertisements to fake tutoring websites and promising grades, for students, to services and plots to collect personal and payment information on lookalike sites. We've heard of folks doctoring their credentials or perpetrating advanced fee scams where upfront payment is requested before the service is provided. We've heard of folks stealing the identity of legitimate tutors or creating fake reviews and testimonials to encourage folks to sign up for those opportunities. So it's a shame that in 2023, we are even having conversations about ensuring the legitimacy and the credentials of a tutor. But that is the hand we are dealt. And but fortunately, I will say that there are a lot of easy ways to ensure that you are working with a reputable tutor, a tutor that has your child's best interests in mind.
Yeah, because I mean, this is obviously something that I'm sure a lot of parents are super sensitive about. Again, who you're bringing into your child's life, and especially someone as important as a tutor can be. Again, because you're talking about someone who could spend multiple hours throughout the week, and multiple hours through the school year with your children. And so again, what do you guys recommend from the Better Business Bureau? Again, because you said it, there's a lot. Unfortunately, there's a lot of crummy people out there doing a lot of crummy things. What's the best way to kind of make sure that everything's above board when you're looking for a tutor?
Yeah, so there are a few ways to ensure that you're hiring a legitimate tutor. Just like agreeing to a new job, there's always going to be that element of risk that comes with these decisions. So our best practice is to ensure that research is on your side. So you can look up tutors to see if they're BBB accredited. We have many of them available on bbb.org. You can comb through their resume, their testimonials. In particular, you want to call references, right? In some cases, you're talking about bringing this person into your home. You want to make sure that the person has actually worked with someone in the past, that they've had a good experience with someone in the past, that they've got that proven track record. So call those references. That's going to be the best opportunity to get first-person data to ensure that you know exactly what that experience looks like and someone has actually experienced it before you. So you want to do those little things because those do add up in the aggregate. And while it's lovely if you are willing to roll the dice on someone who's brand new to the industry, I would always caution folks to prioritize those who have that proven track record, who have the testimonials that they can point to, because at least a little bit what it is that you are getting into.
100%. And I'm assuming, again, probably, your school, whatever school your child's going to, probably may have tutors available through the school. So, I mean, that may just be the best place to start. But again, certainly to ask those questions to make sure you're finding the right fit, also super important.
Yeah, the questions that you want to ask, I think, is kind of lost in the fray, right? It's sort of a lot of folks will just look to see, oh, this person has, contact information. I guess, they're suitable. Questions, provide the context that you're looking for, right? So it's essential that parents ensure that the candidate is qualified to be your child's tutor. These are formative years. You want to verify so that person is qualified, they're reliable, they're a good fit for your child's learning needs, because not all children learn the same way, right? So some questions you should consider asking are, what is your educational background and your experience? What subjects and grade levels do you specialize in? Can you provide references or testimonials from previous clients? How do you approach individual learning differences and unique needs? How do you track progress and measure success? All of this, presumably, you would want to know before you enter into a business arrangement with someone, but it's also a really good way to measure what that person's personality is going to look like and what the framework that they're going to use is going to be.
100%. And again, everyone learns differently as well. Again, my oldest learns extremely differently than my youngest. So again, important to ask these questions. Again, not just to make sure this person's reputable and has the right experience and has the credentials, but again, to make sure they're the right fit for your child. Because again, like we've said, they're going to be potentially spending multiple hours with your child. Tutoring them. So again, super important lesson to kind of go through. So you mentioned, and I did not know this until you just mentioned it, you guys actually have tutors listed on the Better Business Bureau. So again, school might be, again, probably the best place to start, as you look for a potential tutor, but it sounds like Better Business Bureau is probably right there, right under the school to check with for tutors.
Certainly, and we would, of course, echo your sentiment that going to the source in a way, going to the school in question, the teachers who have that experience, right? They can probably provide some of those testimonials. That's going to be incredibly valuable. We would certainly encourage folks to do so. But BBB does have the opportunity to see reviews, to see complaints, to see contact information, to see how long they've been in business, to see that they're willing to uphold certain standards that allow you to be accredited. Things like advertising honestly, like making good on your promises, like all of this you would want in a business, in a partner. And so it's a really good way to double check and confirm that this person is worth your consideration, worth your time, that you can trust in them. And it's good to have again that proof of concept, that proof that they have actually been there before, that they've actually facilitated tutoring services for someone before, and that client was satisfied with the results of that. So certainly would encourage folks to look up that information on bbb.org. We also have a lot of other tips. If those questions that I just sent your way, if you want more, there's a lot of helpful information there that can help you navigate what can be a confusing and strange process.
And I'm assuming, you talked earlier about some of the scams that we have seen kind of that involve tutoring. And correct me if I'm wrong, I would assume is a lot of that stem from like ACT, SAT prep courses, things like that. That's something that I went through when I was in high school. It's something that, a ton of people go through. And it's high school sophomores, juniors, seniors. I'm stressing out, taking some of these standardized tests. And again, so making sure we're finding those right prep courses through the right people. Is it a lot of the SAT, ACT prep courses that we've seen?
It depends on the scam, right? For those scams that are guaranteeing scores, that are guaranteeing performance, we see a lot of high school age ACT standardized test type situations, type setups, because again, what's going to Excite a parent is letting them know that you can promise them something that you really can't, right? That they'll get into that school, or they'll get that score that they need to unlock that scholarship. They know that that's incredibly valuable to parents. But we also see a lot of scams this type of year that are geared around folks in more of a formative place in their life, where they're elementary school, they're middle school age, because there is a seasonality to scams. Scammers are aware of when folks go back to school, what pockets of the country in particular are performing better, performing more poorly on certain scores that that national data is available. And unfortunately, that provides opportunities for them to infiltrate social media and do some geo-targeting with regard to their scam tactics. So it really does cover a broad range, a broad spectrum of ages. But in terms of the performance-based guarantees, a lot of that is engineered around high school students and standardized testing.
All of this, Josh, super important. Again, potentially bringing someone into your home to again tutor your child or your children. Again, finding the right fit. Again, making sure that everything's above board. And again, we saw that, and this isn't necessarily Better Business Bureau, but in Lincoln, we saw the issue with that Zachary Scheich character who was impersonating being an LPS student. So again, want to make sure you're bringing in the right people and good people into your home and into your child's life. So everything we talked about today, wonderful tips. Thank you again, as always, Josh. Anything that we missed that we need to talk about before we let you go this week?
If you see something, say something. It's not enough to say, I didn't lose any money, so it doesn't matter. It does matter. It's very important that you get out there and you protect your fellow community members. I'd like to think on a human level, we can all get behind that idea. So if you see someone who's using misleading advertising or purely scamming folks under the guise of tutoring or any other subject, it's very important to bring that information forward.
Awesome. And I guess really quickly, but I guess before I go, it just raises another question. I don't think we've necessarily talked about this before. Obviously, if we see something that we're like, okay, that's a scam, report it to the Better Business Bureau. Do you guys then get in touch with maybe law enforcement in that regards?
Yes.
And
that information is shared with law enforcement so they can act accordingly. Law enforcement frequently tell people or tell consumers to report to the Better Business Bureau, because we know they know we can distribute that information as quickly as possible. We turn those reports around very quickly. A lot of folks that I work with wake up hoping to provide that type of service for the community. So, we have folks waiting to facilitate and to pass along that information to law enforcement, so something positive can come of something that is so overwhelmingly negative.
Awesome. All right, Josh, thank you so much again for joining us today. Again, starting a little bit later this afternoon, but again, still getting all that good information in. Again, you can catch I think this is our 8th episode I think we've done now. So you can catch this episode, all the other ones that we've done on YouTube and on 1011now.com. So Josh, thanks again so much for joining us today. Hope you have a good Monday afternoon, all right?
Thanks so much for having me, Bill.
Awesome. All right. Again, that was Josh Planos with the Better Business Bureau. Again, meet with him every Monday afternoon. And again, we're talking consumer safety spotlight, topical issues. Again, last week was back to school shopping. This week, again, finding the right tutor as we get ready to start the school year. So we'll continue to have more good information for you as the school year wears on. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and watching this week's episode of Consumer Safety Spotlight from the 1011 Now streaming studio. Again, for Josh Planos, I'm Bill Rentschler. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And as always, for all of the latest news, weather, and sports, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, and hope everyone has a nice Monday afternoon.